Hello everyone, my name is Tanish Kumar Prasad and today I would be teaching you basic syntax in Dart and basic OOPS, object oriented programming. I would be covering from int, double, float to basic if else statements, four basic data structures such as list, map, set and queue, in which map is very widely used in Flutter application. In object oriented programming, I would be teaching you the concept of classes, object, constructor, inheritance as well as super keyword. So I would like your attention towards my words. Okay. Now let's learn the basic syntax for Dart language, for which I would be creating a new Flutter project in the Android Studio and verify your appropriate SDK path. Name whatever you like. I would be naming it Study Jam, and this is a new Flutter project. You can have whatever description you like, and the preferred language is Kotlin. You are not developing right now for iOS, Linux, Mac OS, web and Windows. You are just developing for Android. Now hit create and it will create a new Flutter project for you. See, the Flutter project name Study Jam is now created, and you should now see the main.dart file over here. It is in the lib directory in the main.dart file. You have to just click on it and you can see that there are several lines of code that you don't need to understand it right now. You just have to select all and delete. Let's start with the basic print, basic hello world program in Dart language. As you can see on the screen, I have opened main.dart file on my lib folder. It is in the lib folder and it is usually the main file on which the whole app runs. To print a hello world onto the terminal, you have to just write a main function as in every other program. Void is the return type. You don't have to return anything in the main function, followed by main keyword, and these are the curly braces, round braces, followed by a curly braces. So you have defined your main function, and in this main function you are gonna print hello world. To print anything, you are supposed to write keyword print, and in this if you were to print a string, you have to pass it in double quotation marks, such as hello world, followed by a semicolon at the every line, just as C++ in Java. Now your hello world program is ready in Dart language. Now you have to print. Now you have to run it. To run it, you have to open your terminal. The terminal is in the bottom left corner. Here it is. You have to click it. You can see that it is in the directory of the study jam. To run this file, you have to be in this lib directory. So you would be going into lib directory. To go into any directory from terminal, you have to write cd and that folder name. So I want to go to the lib directory. I would be writing lib cd.lib. So the terminal root directory will be changed. Now you can see here it is lib, and from lib you can access or compile, run, do whatever you want to your Dart file. To compile and run a Dart file, you have to just simply write Dart and followed by the name of the file, main.dart. Now you have to just press enter and you would see a hello world is print over here. Let's move towards the basic syntax of the Dart language, such as int, double, boolean, strings, basic if else. See, I have my main function ready. Suppose you want to initialize an integer variable a with value 10. You would be writing int a is equals to 10 followed by a semicolon. This is simple. And if you want to print the value of variable a, you have to just print, and in the print argument you have to just give the variable's name followed by a semicolon. To compile this, you have to just write that command dart main dot dart, and you can see the value is now on the terminal. To store a decimal value in Dart language, you have to just type double b is equals to, you can write the value of pi 3.14, okay, and you can write b over here and just run it. You can see the value of pi over here. There are strings in Dart language as well. To declare a string, you have to write string followed by the variable name. Suppose I want to name it name, and to pass a string into the name, you have to put double quotation marks and write my name in it or whatever you like, and followed by a semicolon. To print it, just pass name in the print and run it. You can see Tanishq is printed on the terminal. There is one more data type in Dart language, that is Boolean. Boolean is binary in nature, either true, either false, 1 or 0. It is used in like if-else statement. To declare a bool variable, you have to just write bool. Suppose I want to name that variable flag, and bool flag is equals to false. I want to do it, okay, false, it is done. Now this is these are all the variables in the Dart language. Now you would be coming to the basic if-else statement. Suppose I have written if, and there is a round bracket there and followed by a curly braces. If the statement under this round bracket is true, then the compiler will run the thing in the curly braces. For example, the number 8 is greater than 6. So what you are going to write, 8 is greater than 6. This thing is always true. So the compiler would see that the 8 is always greater than 2, then it is true. So if is true, and it will come into this curly braces thing. So suppose if I want to print yes, okay, it is yes. So what would happen if I would be removing it? Sorry. So a basic yes would be printed. See, a yes is printed. If this thing is false, like I have changed the sign, it will never run, okay, there would be no output. See, there is no output, okay. And there is also a thing called else, in which if these things do not if the compiler does not read this thing, the else statement block would be run. Suppose I want to print hello world, okay, so this would never run, instead this would be running. See, dart main dot dart, okay, hello world, and this is neither true, and then the else statement would be running. You can pass flag values as well. Example, you can just simply pass flag. What is the value of flag? False. So it will come to the hello world. See this. Okay. See, the hello world is printed. If you write flag to be true, then the yes would be printed. See, yes is printed. To clear the terminal, a simple command known as clear is very well used. So the terminal is now clear. Move towards the basic data structures of Dart language, such as list, map, set, queue, etc. List is basically an array. So if you want to declare an array, you have to write list keyword and followed by angle brackets. In this angle brackets, you are supposed to give the type of the things that are gonna be stored by that list. Suppose I want to store the roll numbers, so I have to write int in the angle brackets and type roll number as the name is equals to in square brackets 1 2 3 4 5 6 etc. whatever you want. You can store any type of int in it. Suppose I want to store the name of the fruits, so what I'm gonna write, list angle brackets string. Why I have chosen string? Because the names are string basically, and fruits is equals to square brackets double quotation apple banana and guava. Okay, done. Another way to declare a string is string angle braces, give any sort of type such as int, and you can write example, okay, is equals to square brackets, done. This is an empty list. You can add anything later. You can add anything, but it should be an integer to it by add keyword. What see how. Suppose you want to add 46 in it, so what you're going to do, example dot add round brackets 42 and then colon, done. You want to add like 87, you want to add 89. Okay, now these are added into this list. If you want to traverse a list, it is very simple. You can use a basic for loop, int I is equals to 0, I less than what is the size? Okay, the 3 is the size. So the indexing in the list is start in the Dart language start from 0. The 0th index is this apple, the first index is this banana, and the second index is this guava. So you have to run, so since you have 3 elements in the example list, you have to run from 0 1 2. So you are gonna you can do this as well. I is going from 0 to 2, or this as well, I is less than 3. Okay, now I plus plus, this is the incrementation operation. It will be just basically increment the 0 to 1, 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. When it will hit 3, the for loop is terminated. Okay, you have to print, let's say, example, and there it is I. Okay, and then colon. You have to just compile it, dart main dot dart 42 87 89, done. Now let us learn about the map data structure in the Dart language. So map is basically a pointer like thing. So suppose you are in a class of 90 people, and those 90 people have like their very own roll numbers. Suppose roll number 1 is that guy, roll number 2 is that girl, roll number 3 is over there, and roll number 4 is over there. So if you stood up and you would be calling roll number 26, so I would be saying, why you have called me? This thing is exactly called mapping. You have mapped the values from one thing to another, like from integers to strings. Roll number 1 is maybe Akshay, roll number 2 is maybe Tanishq, roll number 3 is maybe Mayank, roll number 4 is maybe Aman. So that what a basic map is. You are supposed to map the values from one end to the another end. Okay, so what we are going to do is, we are going to declare that map value in our Dart language. Okay, to declare a map, you have to just write a map keyword followed by angle brackets and in this angle brackets you have to specify from what you are mapping to what it is being mapped. For example, roll number 1 is mapped to Akshay. Okay, roll number 1, what is roll number 1? What is the data type of roll number 1? Roll number 1 has a data type, roll 1 itself has a data type of integers, so you have to just write integers. Okay, what it is pointing to? Akshay. Akshay is what? String. Okay, so you have to just write string. It is mapping from int to string, int to string, so I have written int comma string, from int to string, from int to string. Okay, what you have to, you can name anything you want to name to a map, such as I want to name it student. Okay, so here it is, student. Now to add values, what you're going to do, you have to just give a curly braces, and in this curly braces you have to provide the data. For example, roll number 1 is roll number 1 is maybe Akshay. Okay, I have mapped it, and let's say roll number 2 is maybe Tanish. Okay, yeah. And roll number 3 is Mayank, and roll number 4 is okay, I have created my map. Roll number 1 is now pointing to Akshay, roll number 2 is pointing to me, Tanishq, roll number 3 is pointing to Mayank, roll number 4 is pointing to Aman. Notice that there is a colon. This is mapping symbol, and this tells the compiler that 1 is maps to Akshay, 2nd is mapped to Tanishq, 3rd is mapped to Mayank, and 4th is mapped to Aman. Okay, done. So next thing is, like, if you want to traverse it, previously I have traversed the list and all the values are just printed onto the terminal. So in this thing we are going to do the same, write a for loop, since you have to just print all the values. Previously what was changing in the array or list, whatever you want to call it, there is an index which was changing from 0, 1, 2. You knew the type that it is an int. In this map data structure there does not exist as an index, and you have to use a pointer. Okay, just be with me, it is not that very hard. So to declare a pointer, that the reason why we are declaring a pointer is that we don't know its data type, like what it is mixed of. In the memory, the map has in the memory heap, it is like a memory stack, a memory collection in which 1 Akshay is stored, 2 Tanishq is stored, 3 Mayank is stored. We have to access that memory, we are creating a pointer known as var it. Var is a keyword in Dart in which it automatically assigns the value, assigns the data type. Suppose you can write var a is equals to 10, then what would var do? Var give the a variable name integer data type. It is that simple. We don't know its data type, that because we are using var. So var it in. Okay, for in there is a base. In C++ it is like this. Okay, and in C++ that is written as auto it and colon and name, and you can traverse the map. But in this you have to write a in keyword in place of colon operator, where it in whatever the name of the map is, and dot entries. Okay, now you can iterate in the map, traverse on the map, do whatever you want to do, and it is now done. What you want to do? Print. Okay, print values. To print it, I want to print like roll number is equals to this. Okay, now how would I access this? Okay, in string, to print the actual values in the string, you have to use a dollar sign in the Dart language, dollar curly braces, and in this you can just type it dot key. Okay, what is key over here? Key is roll number, that is why we are printing it. Okay, and you can write a comma or can give a space or whatever you want to do, and we can write as name colon dollar, and you can write it dot value. Okay, it is now done, and write a semicolon, and when you run it, you can see that roll number 1 Akshay, roll number 2 Tanishk, roll number 3 Mayank, roll number 4 Aman is now on the terminal. Basically we didn't knew that what kind of data type it is, so we used the var and created a pointer in which it would iterate from the map entries, and this is basically a concept. This dot is used to specify which thing you are going to print. Suppose it dot key, it will print the roll number. It dot value, it will print the value of that key. Okay, now this is all about map. Thank you. Let's learn about the set data structure in Dart language. Set is basically a collection of unique elements. Suppose you pushed 1 2 3 4 and again 4, and then again 4, then 5. The set will contain the value like 1 2 3 4 till 5. Okay, so to declare a set, you just have to write a set keyword in the main function, and angle brackets, it type what kind of data you are going to store. Suppose I have to store integers and I am storing some grades. Okay, is equals to, this set should be in curly braces, so you are to give curly braces, and then you can start adding values in it like 1 2 2 2 3 4, again 3 4 and 5, and a semicolon. What would be the output? To basically traverse it, you will see one magic. So for traversal you have to just write a for loop in which a variable it in grades is going to be used. This time no entry because it is not a map, and you can just use simple in foreign loop, and you can just hit print and id because it is the pointer. You would see that only unique values are printed, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and no 3 times 2 and no 2 times 3 is printed. This set only stores very unique values, and to add something manually you can just write grades dot add, and suppose you want to add 90 and then you want to add 90 again, then what would be the output? You can easily guess that it would be 1 2 3 4 5 and 90. This int can be of any type, like it can be a boolean set, it can be of string, etc. Now let's learn about the queue data structure in the Dart language. To use a queue, you have to add an import on the top of your file. That is, you can simply add imports as import and single quotation mark, and you can just write Dart colon and collection. In this thing our queue is very well defined, and we can then now use it. So to a queue is basically like a road type thing. Suppose you are in a ticket counter and there is a very long type of queue in which the first person goes, the first person takes the ticket and boards the train, and the last person goes to the ticket counter at last and boards the train at the last. It's just like this: first in, first out, first in, first out. Whoever goes first comes out first, whoever goes last comes out last. It is as simple as that. To initialize a queue, you have to just write queue and give its data type. Suppose I want to take int and its name should be queue. In previous data structures such as map and set, we can directly declare it. In this we cannot. We have to create an object first. So you have to write this, and an object queue of queue is created. Okay, in this object you have to call one method such as add. It would add the add anything you want to into the last. Suppose you want to add 12. Okay, and you want to add again like 90, then you have added 89, or let's say 91, and you have just wrote print queue. It will just print it. Okay, you don't need to have a for loop for this. Just run it. Main dot dart. See, I have added 12 first. 12 is at the top, then 90, then 91. Suppose you want to add element at right above here, from on the left to the 12th 12 element. So what you're gonna do is q dot add first, and you have to just give, let's say, 1. Then wait a minute. The 1 is added onto the top. You can add anything you want to, like you want to add from behind, you want to add from the first. If you want, again, you want to add something at the first, again you just have to write add first, and whatever you want to add, let's say 56, it is now done. See, 56, 1, 12, 90 and 91. You want to remove something, so q dot remove last. Okay, it is done, and this method returns the remove last method. So you can store it, let's say inta is equals to q dot remove last. Okay, dart main dot dart. So what you have seen, 91 is removed and it is now stored into integer variable a. If you were to print a, you would see that 91 is now in variable a. What I have told, remove last method, or if you don't know method at this point, you can just simply think that this kind of syntax returns a value, means that whatever it removes from the list or the queue, it will give that to the whatever variable you have created over here. So if you again write int b is equals to q dot remove last and done it, so what would happen, the value of b would be 90. Okay, it's just simple. See, dart main dot dart. 91 is the value of A and the value of B is 90. Now let us move towards the object-oriented programming. As we have completed the data structures and the basic syntax, it's time to learn about classes and objects. Class is basically a blueprint for an object. What kind of variable an object has, what kind of methods an object has, all things are defined in that class. Class can be very simple, class can be very complex, but for the ease we are just creating a very simple class called car in this Android Studio, or you can just do programming of Dart in any file. You can create example.dart file in anywhere of your laptop and you can just write code. For as we are teaching Flutter, I am doing it on the Android Studio for the ease, so that you can also get very familiar with the Android Studio to develop Flutter app with ease. So where I was, that class is basically a blueprint type thing. Suppose you are designing a car and you have seen that there are several cars with very different versions and different number of things. What is common between these cars? If you may think, you can think like, okay, a car has like 4 wheels, it has 4 seats, it has a rooftop, it has a glass, it has an engine, it has 4 wheels, etc. So these things are very consistent throughout the cars, and that attributes of a car can be defined in the class. Suppose you are creating a class car. Okay, this is the basic syntax, and followed by curly braces, name of the class car, and class keyword, which tells the Dart compiler that this car is not just any random thing, it is a class. Okay, it is a class in the Dart language. So what is common in these cars? Wheels is very ridiculous, common yet very different. Like the power of engine can be measured in horsepower, right? Suppose that Swift Desire, let's say, has a horsepower of 100, and that Ferrari or any sort of Ferrari has a horsepower of over 1000. So there's a massive difference. Those two cars are still cars, and the thing that is different between them is the horsepower. So I could write like int horsepower. Okay, it is now defined in the car. Another thing you can differentiate is like color. Ferrari is always red, and Maruti Suzuki comes with very different colors. So you can write color as well. As these things are very different, you can write the same thing as well, but it is very inconsistent. Okay, so I have given color, horsepower, and name of the car. Name of the car is also very different. For name you can just give string, because a name is a string. Now your very simple class is now created. Okay, we have created class in the previous section, and in this section we are going to create an object for it. Suppose you want to create an object of that 2 cars, like Swift Desire and that Ferrari over in Italy or maybe something else. So a Ferrari has the name Ferrari, horsepower, let's say it is 1149, and the color is red. Okay, that is one object of the Ferrari. And other is Swift Desire. Swift Desire has white color, let's say, and horsepower of over 150, and name is Swift Desire. So to create an object, you have to write a void main function in which you are going to create objects. How would you create an object? In suppose you want to create cars object, you have to write car, name of the object, and that would be, let's say, Maruti. Okay, Maruti is name of the object, not the car itself, and you can just give car and round braces. This Maruti object, the object of car class is now created, and that created object has a name Maruti. It is that simple. Okay, now you have to create car, an object named Ferrari of the car class. Ferrari. Okay, I hope the spelling is right, and again that thing is same. Okay, car round braces. Notice that there is no new keyword as in the Java syntax. It is just like this. Okay, you don't need to type new. So I have created two objects of the class car. One is called Maruti, one is called Ferrari. Now I want to access or tell the Dart compiler that Maruti object name variable should contain shift desire, as we are creating a car of Maruti Suzuki. So what you're gonna do is go into that Maruti object, and from there you would find three things: name, horsepower, and color. You have to just change the name to shift desire. So what you're gonna write is Maruti is the object of the car class, and you have to write it name as shift desire. Okay, I guess there is not S in the shift desire, it's desire. Okay, this dot thing is used to access different fields in the class, like Maruti dot name would point to this. If I write like Maruti dot horsepower, I would be giving it a horsepower. The reason why I gave it in double quotation mark as because string always take values in double quotation mark. Okay, now the name is done. Suppose you want to do Maruti dot horsepower. You want to set the horsepower to certain value is equals to, let's say it is 147, because it is not that in round numbers like 158. It does not work like that. Okay, you can have 150 or any integer values. Okay, I'm just like, let's say it 147. So the color of that shift desire is what? I would say the color should be string, right? It shouldn't be int, sorry, and the color should be white. Okay, now Maruti object has these thing defined: name, horsepower, and color. Similarly for Ferrari, you can write Ferrari dot name is equals to, let's say it is La Ferrari. Okay, very expensive, La Ferrari, and Ferrari dot horsepower, let's say it is around 1032. Okay, I'm not telling that La Ferrari has this exact amount of horsepower. I'm just saying that it is an example. If you want to set the color of the La Ferrari as to red, you can just give dot color is equals to red. Okay, now these objects fields have been defined. Maruti object has its name shift desire. Maruti object dot name is the field, and that is defined as Swift Desire. Its horsepower is 147, its color is white. And similarly, Ferrari has the name of La Ferrari, and Ferrari horsepower is 1032, Ferrari color is red. If you want to see that whether these are just crap or it is actually doing the work, you can print it. How you can print it? You can suppose the engineer now is building the engine or is mixing the colors for the car. So what he would do? He would think that it is a Swift Desire. Let's see what color you have given in the form of class or object. You can he could just type Maruti and its color. Okay, it would print what it would print. It would print just simple color white. Okay. Name should be doesn't allow null. Okay. Okay. Basically, what error we got is like I have these things pointing to null. Suppose if you just leave it to this string name and then semicolon, it would generate an error, and it would say that a variable cannot be point to null. So you can just give it some dummy variable like test and int horsepower such as 0 and int color as test again. Now it should run, I guess. Dart main dot dart. See, white is now outputted on the terminal. What happened earlier was like you cannot leave it like that, like this. You have to define it. You cannot point the variable to its like null thing, and you have to give some dummy variable, and then you can do it. So you must be thinking that I have to write very much in it. Take all the fields from this, that Maruti.name, Maruti.horsepower, Maruti.color, then Ferrari.name, Ferrari.horsepower, Ferrari.color. Then it would be like, okay, you have to write a very more lines. Okay, it is very troublesome. To reduce this code, we have constructors. Okay, this is the thing. You don't have to write this much again using constructor. What is a constructor? It builds an object for you. Okay, it has a very simple syntax, the name of the class, and it has a round braces, and you can just give a semicolon, and this is basically a constructor. What you can do is write this dot name, this dot horsepower, and this dot color. You must be thinking what I have written over here. This, what is this? And you are familiar with this dot a little bit. This is the variable. Okay, let me remove this, or maybe let's copy this and then remove it. So this basically is constructor. Suppose you are creating an object of Maruti, you can just directly pass its name here. Okay, name, what was the name of it? Swift Desire. Okay, Swift Desire. And what is its horsepower? It was around 147. And what was its color? white. It is done. The previously what you were writing, uh, this much amount of lines. Maruti dot name shape desire, Maruti dot horsepower is equal to 147, Maruti dot color is equals to white. Now you have just written this shape desire 147 and white. Completely done. Same thing for here. You can just write La Ferrari, and you can just write 1032, and you can write red because most of the Ferraris are red. And now it's done. Okay, it is now reduced to this much amount of very what should I say, less lines of code using this constructor. Now let's learn this. What is this keyword, and what is happening over here? This is the keyword which is pointing towards this class. Okay, and you have to access its class name. So what we are doing is this dot name, I have directly giving this, that whatever you would be passing it in while the object creation, you can just simply pass this string as this dot name. And what is name of this class car? It is string name. Okay, same with the horsepower. Whatever you are passing over here, it is going to give this horsepower value whatever you are passing. Okay, now color white is also this thing over color, and now you can just simply run it. The output would be same. See, the output is same, and the lines of code are very much reduced. Suppose you are taking Ferrari dot, let's say, name. Okay, and that, see, La Ferrari. See, the amount of code you have written is very less now, and it's very simple to understand what is constructor. I hope you have understood it well. Now let us learn about some methods. This is very crucial in OOPS, or object-oriented programming. Let's say you want to call a function in your code, and a specific thing happens. Like suppose a person wants to honk at the busy traffic, or maybe he wants to listen some music. So methods in the class are basically used to follow some certain rules. For example, it can do anything you want to do, like it could manipulate a horsepower on your will, it could change the color to something else, and you can do whatever you want to do. So let's say I am creating a function which prints honk honk when it is called in the main function. You can see on the screen, like I have written void, and it is known as horn. Okay, and it has round braces. I want to have no arguments in it. You can print just honk honk, kutty exclamation mark, honk honk. Whenever you call this function in this class of the Maruti, object of the Maruti, you would see on the terminal honk honk. Let's create another method known as music, and it would print, let's say, what should I print? Sare ga ma pa tha Nisa. Okay, and these are known as method. When you are calling it, you can just see on the terminal that these are printed. Now how would you execute them, these methods? Suppose I just remove this print and write the object that you have created of that car, Maruti dot, what is the name of that method? Horn, and you have to give around braces. Okay, it would just run fine. So you can see the output like this, dart main dot dart Hong Kong. Okay, now if the user wants to hear some nice music, you can give like this, dot music, dart main dot dart Hong Kong sare gama pada nisa. Now these are known as methods, and these methods are defined in the objects of that classes. Ferrari can do this as well. If you give like Ferrari dot music, what it would print, you can guess it by now, dart main dot dart. Okay, sarigama padanisa, done. These are all about methods. Let us learn about inheritance and super keyword. Suppose that you want to create a Jeep class, in which a Jeep has its name, its horsepower, its color, and these two methods as well. So what are you gonna do? You would create class Jeep and then again write it all this? No, because you can just extend it, because suppose there are two more attributes in the Jeep, such as the ground clearance and what wheel drive it is, like the rear wheel drive, the four wheel drive, or the front wheel drive. You have to give the attributes to the engineer so that he can make it. A Jeep has these things in common. It can play music, it has its name, it has its horsepower, it has its string color. You are not gonna write the same thing as well as in the class Jeep that you are about to create. You can just use the concept of inheritance in object-oriented programming, and it would save your time and the lines of code. Suppose that you have written class Jeep. Class Jeep is now defined, and you are taking all of the attributes from this, like you are copying its constructor, you are copying all the methods, you are copying its all the attributes such as name, horsepower, and color, so that you don't have to write it again. To take all this attributes, you have to just write extends, and what class you are going to take these from, you have to write class Jeep extends car and curly braces. Okay, now what were the extra things? Whether this was a four-wheel drive or any wheel drive, you have to just give it to the engineer. Wheel drive, okay, is equals to test, because it cannot be null. And let's say the ground clearance is equals to 0. These are the new attributes that you are going to tell the engineer about the Jeep. That Jeep is a very new type of car and it has these extra things. I hope you are getting. Just it is very simple, like the attributes you want to just simply add are just uh, tackled by this extends keyword. Suppose you want to add a jet engine and it has all the attributes of the car. You have to just uh, extend class car and add the attribute of the jet engine, and you are now good to go. So suppose these were my extra attributes: wheel drive test and clearance, ground clearance. The height of the body to the road is clearance, and wheel drive, such as the jeep have can give power to all of the wheels, or the rear two wheels or the front two wheels. It is uh, uh, known by this wheel drive. The engineer will know that the wheel drive is either rear or front or all wheel drive. So what about the constructor? We are not gonna write all those that previously we were writing, that Ferrari dot name is equals to La Ferrari, or Jeep dot name is equals to what's a Wrangler, or Jeep dot wheel drive is rear wheel drive. No, we have to just create a constructor. The basic syntax for that is the class name round braces in which the arguments are to be taken. We were doing in previous declaration of constructor, we were writing that this dot name, this dot horsepower, this dot color. We cannot write this keyword for this name, horsepower and color attributes, because name, horsepower and color attributes are not directly present in it. It is deep inside the Jeep class. Okay, it is in the car. So for a moment, let's forget about this car attributes and just write this wheel drive thing. So what is the definition? This dot wheel drive and this dot clearance. Okay, I have done this, that whenever you are going to create an object of the Jeep class, you would be writing a Jeep round brackets, and in this double quotation you would be writing rear wheel drive and separated by a comma, and you would give the clearance in mm or maybe centimeters. So this is all done. What about this name, horsepower and color? There is a technique in which you can do this. Suppose, basically, what is a name? It is a string, so you have to name it a temporary variable. You are accepting in the constructor that a name is being accepted here, and you are taking horsepower as well. So I would be writing horsepower and string color. I have chose the same variable names as this because to not get confused. Okay, you can have it whatever you want to, like P or A or B, anything. For the ease I have taken it and use this. Okay. Now the constructor is done. Half, you have to provide a colon. Super. What is this super? Super goes deep into the extended class, and it declares the variable for you. You can just write super and the name of the variable, name horsepower power and color. What I have done, these three things are responsible for this constructor. Okay, the Jeep class has 5 things: name, horsepower, color, wheel drive, clearance. You have take all the attributes: name, horsepower, color, wheel drive, and clearance. Name, horsepower, and color are not directly present in the class, and you have passed this inside this super thing. Okay, this super thing will go into the parent class and would call this constructor and give this all the value in it. Like, the car will receive this name that you are going to pass over here, and the car constructor will also be receiving horsepower and the string color that you are about to pass when you are about to create an object. Okay, and now it is done, and you can now create an object over here. Remove it. Let's say Jeep is the object type, and you are creating what should I name it? Let's say Wrangler, or I would say Mahindra is equals to Jeep. You are now calling the constructor. What is its name? Wrangler. And what is its horsepower? Let's say it is 900. What is its color? Black. What is its wheel type? It is 4WD or 4-wheel drive. And what is its clearance? It is, let's say, 850 mm. Okay, it is now done. Now you can just you can call several methods such as horn, and it would print a horn for you. Dart main dot dart. See, Hong Kong. You didn't write those 2 main methods that you have written in this car class. This is the beauty. You don't have to write several times the same code. The object-oriented programming reduces this redundancy, and you are expected to write some less code. You can just call other method as well. Mahindra dot, what was the other method's name? It is music. Now music, sarigama padhanisa would be printed, and dart main dot dart. See, Hong Kong and sarigama padhanisa is now printed. The thing is, I have written a colon, and then you can just pass these things in the previous constructor. Okay, like name, horsepower, and color. Now I guess you have basically understood all the basic things in object oriented programming. This is not the end of the picture, and you are expected to learn more in the Flutter development. You would be guided very heavily in the next study jams, so stay tuned and try to understand. And you can read the Dart documentation on the Google. You can just hit Dart documentation, and then you can find all the things that is there. I hope I am very clear. If I am not, you can just ask your doubts in the comment section. I would be very grateful to solve your doubt and interact with you. Thank you. My name is Tanish, and I am from the app dev team of the Hackslash club. Signing off.